Una mattina mi sono svegliato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono svegliato e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao.
Fatty, did you not hear the music still?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 6 of My Daughter is a Communist. My name is Fadi Nassar. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to know how good the weed is in Canada, all you had to do was feel that introduction.
Yep, that's it. Just talk to Fadi.
Comedian
He'll hook you up.
You know, I go by the name of Roby Hollywood, and if you're wondering why I look like the douchey son of an African dictator, it's because I just got off a long day of honest work gambling your grandmother's pensions on the stock market.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
nice.
I'm sorry to say, today was a good day. Today was a good day. You know what I mean? Not for your grandma, goddammit, but you know.
And I have court later this week.
Yes, that is true. That comes with the territory.
That's fucked
bro.
up, you know. People see a black guy in a suit, they're like, yo, this guy just came from court.
Bro, have you
If on
ever
Sunday,
been to
they're like, yo,
court?
he came from church.
You said that.
I've been
I
to
didn't
court.
say that.
Bro, if
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
been to court, you know these niggas are not dressing up in suits. They're coming
Yo.
in their black Jordans and they're fucking, you know what I'm saying?
You show up, yo,
know?
honestly, some men just try to show up. Like, that's their objective, you know?
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
like, my game is just to make it to court, because I'm not trying to get a fucking, you know?
That's
Black
hard
guys
enough as it
rarely
is,
get
man.
asked to like come in. They're very more often like taken from where they are and then are brought to like the court.
That happens though. Like I had like a couple, like was it last week? I had an outstanding bench warrant because I missed a court date, and that had been taken care of, but then he was never taken out of their system. So I got pulled over randomly on my way to a comedy show. And I'm thinking it's like, okay, so I guess because I caught a red light, I'm like, okay, maybe worst comes to worst, gonna give me a ticket. I'm
Randomly,
gonna
black guy driving a Porsche.
right.
randomly
So,
pulled
but
over.
like, yeah, we'll talk about the
Yo,
randomness of that.
I want to get pulled over, man.
You know?
Because, I'm clean nowadays, you know?
Yeah, now
I want to
it's,
get pulled over, bro. I'll be like, yo, fam, what do you want? Insurance, registration, ID?
Bro, but I-
Ask for the ID and I have it, bro. I have it. You want the insurance? I have it, bro. You want the registration? I have the registration too, bro.
No, but I thought I thought I was clean too. But then the guy goes and like, okay, I'll give him my stuff,
Oh, that's
license
the
registration.
worst.
He goes to the car, then comes back. He's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to turn off your car. I'm like, the fuck? I'm thinking he's trying to save me some money on gas because he heard something I hadn't heard of. So he's like, okay, take the keys out of the ignition and put them on the fucking dashboard. I'm like, goddamn, why now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because usually when you know you got something,
Then
you're
reach
like,
for the glove box to give
Yeah.
me an excuse.
I was like, yeah, I would love to. Just reach in there. You know what's so fucked though? I have like this bottle of cologne in my car, but it's like, those, it's shaped like a revolver. You know what I mean? It's just and I have it
Well,
in my, I
that's
forget what they
your
call it.
poor.
I know,
buying
it's poor
decisions.
judgment.
That's
I feel
poor judgment. when you buy
I've
that.
been pulled over several times, but I never looked
It's a
into my,
regrettable.
yeah,
Regrettable
that
decision.
definitely can go bad. I could see how like my sister's father-in-law gave it to me. As a present. So I'm like, maybe this
Okay,
nigga's
really?
trying to get me shot.
Regift it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To who?
yeah. So what's happening this week, man? What's new in the world?
Oh, did you watch the Nevada?
Oh,
How do you say it?
the
Democratic.
the debates. Oh
Fight.
man, Michael
the
Bloomberg
Democratic
got fisted.
Royal Rumble.
Oh my God, it was so. But you know what though? What pisses me off about this whole Bloomberg situation is the fact that he's not owning up to it. See, like to me, like fuck apologizing. Why does Trump fucking dominate? Because this guy owns his shit. Like they try to come to him about like the whole stop and frisk shit. If it was me, I'd be like, listen, man, it was the 90s, like or the early 2000s in New York City. Like the crime was going out of hand. I have mothers coming to me and being like, yo, what the fuck are we gonna do about this? Okay, maybe it was not the best solution to the problem, but I had to do something with what I was given. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure it had some kind of positive impacts. Yes, of course.
It undeniably lowered the murder rate.
Yeah.
Undeniably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the man's like a huge business mogul. Like,
He's an oligarch.
He's up
Yeah.
there.
Bloomberg is fucking
What's the
everywhere.
Olive Garden?
He's an Olive Garden.
I didn't say Olive Garden. I didn't say Olive Garden. Hold on.
He probably owns a bit of the Olive Garden too.
I said-
Yeah, he probably does.
What's the word?
Oligarch.
Oligarch.
Yeah.
I swear to God,
Man,
I thought
yo,
you
I didn't
said
say Olive
Olive
Garden.
Garden.
I said oligarch. or the garden.
I don't know. All I know is whatever I heard got me in the mood for breadsticks. That's all I know. That's all I know. I want some breadsticks right now.
That's the next level of money, man.
But
we're talking billions, bro.
Oh, bro, this
Billions.
guy's worth $60 billion.
Jesus
And he's
Christ.
like, you know what? I'm willing to put $2 billion right now.
He
And
dumped
it's like,
money into memes.
but again though, but they're using that. They're using
And
that.
that's fucking genius,
That's
man.
fucking genius.
Yo, man's are gonna see that meme and go and vote.
He just scooped up the young vote.
Yeah. He
And
just,
but
like,
the
I don't know
What do you
about
say?
that.
You put money in the meme? What do you do?
He paid for
Social media.
social
he put
media,
millions
like,
of dollars
promotions.
into advertising in general, man.
Dude,
Right.
He pumped
everywhere.
millions
But-
of dollars.
300 million so far. He said he'll spend $1 billion in the DNC primary and then $1 billion in the general.
That's
Yeah,
gangster.
That's fucking
You know what I mean?
badass.
But you know what?
You're right, because that's the worst part about him is he is a real billionaire, unlike Trump.
Right.
Like Trump probably does not have $10 million in any one bank account. Bloomberg has $10 billion in multiple bank accounts.
in
Like,
cash.
he doesn't just
alone.
have
Yeah.
an
assets,
assets
yeah.
you can appraise very highly.
That's not
Bloomberg
even,
has like
that's
the
beyond
cash.
money, man. That's control.
Pat and I were saying earlier, I just gotta get this in real quick because it's fucking hilarious. Is there a clip that you can find of Bernie being asked by Anderson Cooper if he would take Bloomberg's money?
Oh, no, I can find it.
Yeah. I saw that earlier.
Man, he froze.
He froze. He's like,
you can watch
He's
him
like,
exploding.
money
Bro.
is money. Money is money, okay? If they give me money, I'm going to
but
take
I
the
don't
money.
know.
Free Medicare.
I'm against the billionaires. Well, Bernie, I'm just gonna give you $1 billion. Now you're a billionaire.
But I don't know why
Finally,
they use.
It took me 87 years.
You know? I don't know why they use like Bloomberg's money against them. For me, like that would be
Yeah,
a
he's
huge
just
plan. I'm like, listen,
Dude,
I don't
he's
need
the
the
American
corporation's
dream.
money.
Yeah.
I don't because see, what is the number one thing that they accuse politicians of? Oh, you know, you have these
Take
billionaires
money.
that are
Yeah,
giving you
yeah.
this money,
Yeah.
so you're gonna be doing their bidding.
Yeah.
Bloomberg is the only guy who could be like,
He's like, I'm not
listen,
bought.
I'm my
Yeah.
only donor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah, yeah.
but yo, listen.
I'm the
you
only
don't know
guy
what
who's
agenda
me
he's
and-
bringing, bro. Like, what's this guy's fucking play? Who is he? What is he doing
Every
politically?
politician
Is this guy
has
gonna move into the White House and fucking blow up some fucking countries? Or what? Yo, this
I know,
guy's
man.
trying
He's
to take over
short
the
like
world.
Napoleon. It might.
Yo, he
That
could
is true. He doesn't have
could
an
take over the
agenda.
world. Because this is a guy that could start a
complex.
war and literally and go buy weapons,
Yeah, bro.
mass weapons with his own dollar and just add it to the
What if
fucking
he
U.S.
did it-
fucking reserve.
What
you
if
know?
he did it if he lost? You know what I mean? Like
he wouldn't even care.
Some of these
2 bill?
billionaires, they could just buy an island and build their own army. What's stopping them?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
At the end of the day, if society starts crumbling, like if the United States really starts falling apart, what's
You know what's
stopping
wild?
like
This
Bezos?
guy could literally take
Gates?
one island, open one bank on it,
Yeah.
and do business with all the billionaires and store their money in that bank. That would be insane.
They are. I mean, like when you have that
called
kind of money,
offshore
when you have
accounts.
that kind of money, you
exactly.
don't.
He could set up one of those. He has that kind of money.
Oh, for sure, they already
Yeah.
do that.
But to do it publicly, though, like that's really where the contingency comes in. Because
Nah, man, it's a service that needs to be fulfilled.
no, but like no, listen,
we
there
celebrate
is
drug dealers. Like,
no, there
you
is
know, they're
laws.
selling
Plus,
drugs. Why can't
when-
we celebrate a billionaire that's
when you got-
fucking helping millionaires scheme?
No, but when you got
Poor
that kind of
people,
money,
you know?
no,
why, man? Tell me.
what's that lady's name? Fucking Elizabeth Warren. She tried to pull that on Bloomberg. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
you guys don't pay your fair share of taxes. And he's like, okay, I didn't write the tax code though.
Yeah,
I'm
That was
not
with
paying-
Bernie,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he goes,
it was
I'm
Bernie.
paying
It's
what the
like,
cat's gonna
yeah,
be.
yeah.
you wrote the tax code. So when
like,
you got that
I'm
kind
a-
of money, like
yeah.
you get
And
laws
then-
written. You don't need to go
Yeah.
to Bermuda. You can put that your shit in Scotiabank, no problem, and nobody's gonna touch it.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I
then
mean?
you have people like that have no business experience telling a guy with the most business experience
Right.
how to run
Yeah, no,
like,
but
finance. Like,
But the one thing that is upsetting is how unprepared he was for that whole thing. It
Oh,
was
for sure,
it was
for
so
sure.
sad to fucking watch. I'm like,
sure.
you have all this money, you cannot like what the fuck are your
Dude,
consultants doing?
you think about his day to day. Do you think any one of his people ever stand up to him?
No.
Ever
no,
talk
no,
back to him?
No.
Not a chance, right?
I don't know about that. I
Really?
think it has more to do with the people he hires are not like necessarily Bloomberg people. They're DNC or just Democrat
because he's
election
part
people.
of the Democratic.
So now what he's doing is he's
I
paying
guess.
people for advice like, okay, so Mike, you're going to present yourself as very nice and you're going to be very
Right.
apologetic
Yeah.
for all the slights against wokeism. which includes like stop and frisk and being mean to women and shit
But
like
why
that.
would like what kind with
Because
the amount of
that's
money
what-
that you're paying for that advice? That's terrible advice. You knew you were gonna get eaten up the moment you stepped on that.
But it's about the DNC and the primary. It's not about the national. Like none of these DNC people are ready to run on any national scale because they have had this media kind of bulwark protecting them. Like Bernie Sanders is really fucking bad at answering obvious questions because he doesn't get asked obvious questions by the media. So that fucks them up badly. So now what you have in like the actual political machinery of the Democratic Party are a bunch of people who are tuning out almost 50% of the country in terms of like, well, everyone takes for granted intersectional hierarchy. So, you know, lesbian, black, trans, disabled people are the most oppressed, so they get the most stuff. Like, all this weird shit they take for granted. Like, socialism is only got a bad name because of CIA propaganda. So the socialism stuff is fine. Wokeism, everybody understands.
Yeah.
To be woke is to be a good person.
Right.
Can you
Woke,
imagine
Robbie.
At some point in
Be
time, there's a new party that forms called wokeism.
Right.
Yeah, wokeism.
I don't know, man.
Yo,
These motherfuckers
okay,
need a
so
nap. That's
who's
really what the
fucking
problem
left,
is.
man?
They've been
Who's
awake
left?
for
Yeah,
way
they
too
need to
long.
Man,
They need a nap.
How many people dropped out already?
Andrew Yang just
50%
dropped
of
out.
the field.
Oh yeah, he dropped out.
Andrew Yang is the latest one to drop out.
Yang, Gabbard, Steyer.
Gabbard, did Gabbard drop out?
Yang won,
She's
man. That would have
technically not
changed
in
fucking
it.
everything, bro.
Yeah.
She didn't renounce her candidacy, but she's also effectively eliminated.
Oh yeah. She's not making it to any of the debates
Exactly.
anymore, and
She can't
anything
even
like
get
that.
delegates now. So.
Yeah.
They blocked her on Google. There was some shit.
Oh yeah,
a while back. They
the
blocked
only
searches
debate that
for her.
the only debate she actually did well in, she had a massive Google search surge afterwards because obviously, like, it's people going like, "Oh,
Yeah.
who's this Tulsi Gabbard thing?"
Yeah.
And so Google just deprioritized all the searches so that people
Why?
couldn't find her
Fucking
because
shady.
she's
That's fucking amazing.
a fringe candidate. It'd be the same thing if
Right.
like, it first happened to Bernie. If
Right.
they had the ability to do it to him, they would.
yeah.
It's
She's
just too
sexy
late.
though. I
But
don't mind
here's the
finding
fucked
some
up-
nudes somewhere of Tulsi Gabbard, goddammit. Like, if Russia, if you're listening,
Jeez,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Russia,
Don't
if
do
you're
it, Russia.
listening,
Don't do it.
find some nudes of Tulsi Gabbard, will
do
you?
that.
I
The
need you to do us a
30,000
favor,
missing
though.
emails.
No.
And
We
the
are
news
totally
of
against
Tulsi,
this.
if you can.
She was my favorite for sure.
She's
she?
the
Why is
greatest.
that?
She's the most firmly anti-war candidate.
And she's been to war.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, come on.
She's so anti-war that she gets called an Assad apologist and an
Yeah.
Assad toady and like a puppet of
She's
the
a
Russians.
Russian, yeah, she's a
That's,
Russian spy. Hillary Clinton called her a Russian spy.
Yeah, this is how you know she's good.
So,
Yeah,
speaking of the Russians, I don't know if you guys heard, but Trump fired his DNI, acting DNI
What's the name?
today. I forget his name,
Yeah.
but apparently because he briefed Congress on the fact that the Russians are again actively interfering into the election.
Yo, mans are being fired for
Did they
doing
ever
their job.
I know, it's insane.
And these are like fucking defense people. These are guys that just can't take a day
And
off.
then he
you know?
put in
This guy
the
has to make-
ambassador to Germany. Like,
Yeah,
the
that's
guy has
fucked up.
no
Yeah,
experience being a spy, never been in the military. Like, it's out
Good.
of hand now.
The spies are the worst fucking people in the
No,
world.
but that's but see, if
They're
you're talking about the
literally
national
professional-
intelligence, though, you want
professional
somebody who's
liars.
capable to do the job.
Yeah.
No,
You
no,
know
no.
what I'm saying?
No, you want a professional liar.
The dynamic's all
That's
wrong.
what you need, yeah.
want the most incompetent fucking people if you're gonna have a national intelligence apparatus with that much authority. You want fucking ineffective people.
How?
Bond
you put
films just glorify it.
Bro, they literally lie you into wars. That's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about, like, hey, they fired a guy who for his entire life, his entire adult life, has been literally murdering foreigners and then lying to Americans about murdering foreigners.
Sounds like a good American to me. You know what I'm saying? These foreigners are a problem anyway.
That's
Let me
the,
tell you
that,
something.
that's the biggest
What the fuck are you
mark
talking about?
against
We're foreigners, me and you.
Hey, listen, brother.
You were born here.
Listen, brother, what up?
Listen, I'm
When
a
I got my
fucking
tie
foreign-
on,
I just
I'm a
got
white
my
landowner.
I
I'm a
just got
white-
my Canadian passport
Exactly.
yesterday, fam.
Oh, that
Exactly.
doesn't mean shit. They will fucking vaporize Americans.
Oh
If
my
you go
God.
abroad and you do something they don't like, they'll kill you.
But
I
no,
know,
but I
This
don't
is
see.
why-
I've traveled. I know about the world, man. Yo, some places will. Some places in the United Arab Emirates, when you land, they take your passport at the border. At the border.
Why?
Because that's how they roll.
What?
And
They
then
would
you-
that
just
what they
take
say
your
to
shit?
you?
Like what?
Why
You
did you
gotta-
take
Yo,
it?
So you don't
That's
unravel
how
your
they
Yo,
roll.
country.
you could look it up, bro. You land, and they literally take your passport,
Wow.
and then you get your passport
then
back when you come back across the border.
Yeah, you get papers.
Some
and
countries
stuff.
you have to sign to go in.
They walk in a camel and it
Those
spits
countries, yo,
on
those
you.
countries, yo, those countries. Imagine a country with billionaires, man.
Yeah,
Just billionaires. Like their taxis are fucking Benzes.
that's
They're
wild.
fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
shittiest fucking like
Yeah.
$10 taxi.
Also,
Benz.
no crime rate.
Why would you fucking kill? Yo, no, there is a lot of crime, but it doesn't get punished.
Yeah,
Because
of
those
course.
princes
Yeah,
and shit,
yeah.
man, bro. I grew up, bro. So when we moved to Canada, we lived in a shelter, Red Door Shelter at Victoria Park in Lawrence, right? It's a Montessori school now. Yeah, it is. So this other family that was there, it's a black guy. His name is Sliman. He's I think he's Somali or Sudani. I think he's Sudani because he spoke Arabic. Yo, this guy was a slave for a prince in Dubai. And this guy ran away from the man's yard. Like, bro, this guy hid in the water tank. He told me the story. He hid in the water tank for 4 days, fam.
Wow.
Like 4 days. It's like this massive water tank because they get water like once a week and they fill up
Right.
these tanks that are on
Right.
the roof.
Right.
Yeah,
This guy sat in the fucking water tank, man, and he hid until he was able to leave.
But they didn't drown him. They didn't fill that water tank
but
for
yo,
days?
now this guy's fucked up in his head now.
Oh,
so he,
yeah, of
when he
course.
came here, he tried to get on disability, right? And he couldn't get on disability because he's a fucking big motherfucker. So he went mental disability. This guy walked up to a cop car, Danforth and Eglinton, goes up to the cop car and he goes, "Yo, can I have your gun?" And the cop is like, "Why?" He goes, "Bro, I want to kill myself." And they locked him up and he got disability, bro. He was,
Nice.
he was there for like 2 days.
Well played, sir. Bravo. Bravo.
Our
bro.
game of the week.
I'm telling you,
Bravo.
man.
Bravo.
Yo, that guy is
our
a
life hack
fucking madman.
segment.
Yeah, that guy should run for office. That's a gentleman right there. Suleiman, wherever you are, sir.
Yeah, bro.
Well done.
That was
Bravo.
insane.
Well done. You
Can
know?
we get a?
But you know what, bro?
Right.
Like, you make more money if you went to work.
Fucking A, Sule. Well done, sir. Well done. Now I'm gonna think about it. Now I just go up to a cop with my cologne and be like, "Hey, listen, brother, how do I use this to kill myself?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, it doesn't make me smell good right now. I'm trying to.
Yo, Robbie's styling too hard, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
fam, I have to, fam. I
Robbie's
have
already
to.
looking like GQ magazine.
I
and
have to, bro. You know what I'm
shit.
saying?
You have to.
What do you mean?
I
For
have
work?
to.
I have to, bro.
to.
It's like, well, how else are white folks gonna trust me with their money? You know what I'm saying? They don't. How else do I get white folks
Pat,
to trust
do
me
you
with their
trust
money?
Robbie
Because-
with your money?
You know what I'm saying? No. Pat doesn't trust himself with his own money.
Wait,
Why don't you trust Robbie with his money,
You
Pat?
know what I mean? Like, yo, it's like, look at that fucking guy. It says.
What do you do, Robbie?
I work in finance.
Okay.
Yeah. It just, you know what I mean? So
the
it's
Facebook Marketplace, like a
that's,
GG.
He's like, yo,
That's-
if you give me a stack, I'll bring you back 4Gs in 3 weeks, bro.
Listen,
I'm
if you bring me like what? That's a massive interest rate, bro. I don't
You know
even
what
know
I'm
if that's
saying?
legal.
Nobody's
That's not even- that's
hitting
legal.
those rates.
Those are
Those rates don't
those
get
are
hit.
Bernie Madoff numbers, bro.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
Toronto,
Those are
Toronto
Bernie
has so
Madoff
many
numbers.
scams. Back in the day, remember the Loom? Remember the
Oh,
Loom?
yo,
Bro,
what?
oh, the Loom. Like, yo, this shit started in the hood. Because it'd be
Fruit of
everybody would, this guy would be like, yo, you give me some money, you give me some money, you give me some money. And then it like divides and then I'll give you guys back more money. And it was a
Yeah,
thing.
so it was a
yeah, it
pyramid
was like a
scheme?
pyramid scheme type of shit.
Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi,
Yeah.
it was a Ponzi scheme. That's
Yo,
exactly what it was.
I had
the
the
Loom.
craziest, the weirdest thing happened to me. There was this guy that I went to high school with, and he was like a couple years older than me. And I ran into him at like a Starbucks or something. And he was like, "Oh,
shit.
hey, how's it going, man? Whatever." And I'm like, we got talking, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got this new job. Like, I love it. It's awesome. Like, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, that's so cool." He's like, "You should come work for."
He's
for
trying to
this
get you to do
place."
some multi-level marketing.
Yeah, and he's like selling, and he's literally trying to sell me on this pyramid scheme.
Bro, I've been that
At a
guy.
fucking
I've been
Starbucks.
that guy, Johnny. Yo, I've worked for I've ran so many pyramid schemes in my time, bro.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm the guy that
I'll
got to the
tell you,
point
man,
where
they
like,
pay. Listen, let me tell
no,
you something,
sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, though. Because
No, it
I've been on
depends.
both sides of the coin, man.
Yeah.
I've had ones where they actually paid off, so I got into more and I failed.
Yeah, this one legit
I lost
sold
beer
wine
money,
bottles.
Wine bottles.
They sold packages on like, oh, we're an organization that promotes like wellness and progress and all these like key business buzzwords that they always
Yeah.
fucking use.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, but what do you sell? Like, what is?
And like, what is the product?
How do you make money? That's
am
what I
I
kept
retailing?
asking him,
Yeah.
and he couldn't fucking answer
One of the best ones
question.
that I've done, and this is the one that didn't work. It was for this fucking thing. You could put it on your eye, like those bags under your eyes, and it instantly goes away. Seeing? And like that, this was like 6 years ago. And now that shit's on TV.
Yeah.
I'll be watching TV and I see it and I'm like, oh.
Damn.
How the fuck did I not make money on this fucking pyramid scheme? You know?
I could have been the eye guy.
I would have been the eye guy, but I
You could be
failed.
Fadi the eye guy.
You know?
guy.
Fatty the eye guy didn't do good.
you
Come on
imagine?
down to damn fourth and Egling
Come down to Scarves. I'll give you all 1-2 glasses.
Can you imagine? I could picture these like these fucking commercials. You know those commercials on TV like Oliver the jewelry guy. You just see
Yeah,
Fatty
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hey, my
I'm
name
the
is
cash
Fatty,
man.
just like you. I got bags underneath
Yeah.
my eyes. You know?
Yo, Oliver, I got mad love for Oliver because this guy is classic promotion for his
Oh,
business.
yeah.
Like his
Oh,
commercials,
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
dancing with the girls. Like, bro, that guy's the fucking man. Oliver the jeweler. Shout out to Oliver the jeweler.
I know he's
hope-
been accused of trying to murder other brothers.
Patty always
That's
the
a
only
real
person.
shit
Rewind.
of the
I don't
week.
even know about this.
So you guys have seen the ads for Harold the jeweler.
Yeah.
He tried to kill Harold the jeweler?
Harold has accused Oliver multiple times.
No way.
No, this is an
So-
ongoing narrative they've built for promotion.
At Harold's place one time, and this is you just look it up in the news. A guy did come with a silenced pistol and started shooting through, but his bank glass doors. So
No, I know what you mean because I try to sell Harold
Trying to
advertising.
shoot that window.
It's true. No, if you walk
the man
into his
shut it
shop,
down, yeah.
you have to go through like
Yeah,
9
it's a door.
doors.
It's a door. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like it's crazy.
It's like the
He's
one
got
in,
Bank of England glass. It's
Uncut.
a
What's that
completely
movie?
different-
Uncut Gems. Did you guys see that
no,
shit?
it's exactly the
Uncut
same
Gems.
thing.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
It's like a jewelry
Yeah.
store. They go in and
That
then
movie
you have
was
to stay in like a
wild.
closed area and then there's another door.
No,
Yeah, bro. That's
I
how they
remember.
roll.
I remember one day I tried to pitch him like there was this company I was working with a few years ago where they were doing like they were paying people to advertise on their vehicles.
Okay, yeah.
Right, so it's a great way to be able to advertise because you can narrow down exactly where your clientele lives, and you just pay people that drive in that
And then
area.
they find people, and then
Yeah.
they sell it, and then
Yeah,
they
so-
find people.
So no. All you do is just you put your advertising like the same way that you like
and
like the reason why we hit him up.
scheme element.
Oh no!
Yo,
No, this was
every
not a
job
pyramid
is
scheme.
set up like a pyramid scheme, though. If
No,
you
but
really
check this
think
out
about
though. So I go to see this Harold guy, and like fucking, he comes out, just like looks at me. He's like, "What the fuck? I don't know this dude, right?"
it. The black man at
You know
my
what I
door.
mean? No, but finally he lets me in. You know, I pitch him. He's just sitting there, like and then at the end it's like, "Okay, I'll call you, buddy." You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah. But I have to
man.
pitch him through.
Should've
But
said you
I
played for
don't
the
know him,
Raptors.
but
No,
I
no.
got mad love for him because he works hard. His commercials are from the heart, bro. This guy's there dancing with the girls. He's like, oh, I'm there.
not
Spray
the
paints
Cashman. I'm
himself.
talking about
You know what I'm
Harold.
saying?
Paints himself
That
gold and
is
silver.
fucking gold,
That
bro.
shit's
They don't make
nuts.
him like that no more, man.
Nah,
Now
dude.
man, they're just paying for a commercial. Like, yo, make a meme for me.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. What you know about the cash man dancing in person?
That's you know what though? Like I don't see a lot of those commercials anymore. You know who else was
That's
the
because
other
they
guy in
shooting
Toronto?
each other now, Robbie. Did you hear this? They're killing each other now.
What's,
now it's a mafia
You got
investigation.
Harold, Oren, Oliver.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oliver
no,
the
no, no.
jeweler, yeah.
No. Who's the
Kilani,
nobody guy?
Kilani.
But no, he's not a jeweler, but he was like mayor of Toronto at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Like who's better than Hartsman? Something? Nobody. They're like
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, Bad Boy.
Yeah, Bad Boy.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
better than Bad Boy? No,
Last Man.
buddy. Last Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
guys have
Last Man's
wars?
Bad Boy.
Yeah,
You don't
that guy.
see a lot of.
They went out of business.
They went out of business?
Yeah, they did. Yep.
That guy
It's
was
probably-
He
He
sold
was
a
a
big sign at some
Yeah,
point.
he was a
Oh,
bad
yeah?
boy. But yo, really, who the fuck buys furniture anyway, bro? Like, yo, Kennedy Road, like, yo, I
What
buy
do you
a one,
sit on, bro?
I buy a one thing and I keep it for like 2 years. Like, how often are you going to the furniture store, my G?
That's like my
when was the last
hometown.
time, yo, Pat? When was the last time I went to IKEA?
Oh God, fucking
Exactly. That's my
You
You
point.
can order the shit. Now you
Don't-
can order
yeah.
everything.
I'm telling you, man. You
Order
buy like, yo,
Amazon
I
to your
bought my
house.
bedroom set because when I moved out of my last house, I just dashed everything. Like,
Yeah.
fuck all this. I don't want none of this because I was living there with my ex, you know.
Yeah.
Dashed
Yeah.
everything.
It was
Everything.
about the bad energy, the juju.
I
had
just took the mattress because, true say, I just bought the mattress 4 months before we broke up, and I bought the mattress, and it's like a nice sleep country thing, bro. It's not even like a Kennedy Road, you know. It's a sleep country mattress, man. It's not a warehouse clearance thing, you know. And yeah, I took the mattress, bro. Just go try to take the mattress. I'm like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
moving this mattress out of the yard tonight. I moved that shit to my boy's house, and I slept in the living room.
How does that
man.
go though, bro? Because like like I've lived with girls before, and
horrible.
like
It's fucking horrific.
Most of the time,
Let me
it's
tell you
their
something.
shit,
Let me
except
tell
in
you
this
something.
relationship.
Let me tell you something. Living with a woman is fucked up if she's not the right woman.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
a
don't
fact.
know if it's good with the right woman because I ain't found her yet.
Yeah,
I have a girl in my
No,
life
it's
now
pleasant.
that's she's up there, But like,
Yeah.
I don't know what living with her is like. What if I move in with her and she hates me? Maybe the way I live is wild. You know, think
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
true.
Maybe I
Find
move in
out
and she's like,
next time
Fadi,
on
you can't be
Dr.
fucking moving
Drew.
like this. You know.
You know what though? Let me tell you something. Look, when
Like,
I
you know what I
discovered,
found out? I snore like a motherfucker. I snore bad, yo. And I'm like, really? True say I've been smoking since I was like 14. Like, you know.
no, but like what I discovered,
I've been
like,
partying since back in the day. Bottles,
Yeah.
blunts, packs, like, you know. like-
Jesus, bro.
yeah,
That's
man. That shit adds up.
you know.
Marbles and Marlboros.
You get me,
You
though.
know? No, but like just going back to that, like living with a girl, like one thing that I found is like if you, because I used to worry about it, because I've lived okay, the first girl I ever lived with, okay, I'm in university, I'm my parents, right, and you know my parents are
I
fucking
said,
super
I'm living on my
African.
parent.
No. I'm living with my parents.
Okay.
So my parents lived in Fort Erie. I was going to school in St. Catherine. So it's probably about like I had to take a 45-minute Greyhound ride every day to school because when I got accepted, our status went from refugee to permanent resident. So they issued us new
Hey, I know
social
them
insurance
ones. I know
numbers,
them
right?
ones.
Okay, yeah.
So my student loan, because I had applied on my old social security number, so
Yeah.
they had to. So for like the first half of the semester, I was living at home. I'm like, fuck, I can't do
Yeah,
this, man.
yeah.
So one day, this random chick messages me on fucking Facebook. She's like, yo, I think I seen you at a party. I hadn't been to the party, but I'm like, I'll go with it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So I start messaging her. Next thing you know, I fucking end up going to check her. So at that time I was 19. This chick was 16, turning 17. She's in high school, lives with her mom and her brother.
Jeez.
Right? I'm like, yo, that's kind of nice out here and it's close to my school. I might need to find myself a way to move into this situation. You know what I mean? So I go into details in my book about it. I'm like, yo, listen. So I start like, you know, schmoozing up to her mom and shit like that. Long story short, 6 weeks later, man, I moved in with this girl and her mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I'm fucking,
did you fuck a 16-year-old, Robbie?
bro, I was
Is this the
19
story
at
that-
the time,
we
bro.
canceled?
Like, it's just like, yo.
Are we
like,
canceled?
No, listen,
I
first of
think
all.
we're canceled.
No,
16
bro.
is legal.
16 is legal. I can tell you.
shit.
Bro, I can tell you the age you
Yo,
can send in
are you
international
telling me right
waters
now
right now.
16 is legal? Is this what I'm learning on this
16 is
fucking-
legal, bro.
No.
14 is legal if you have the parents' consent. Yeah, this bitch could have been 14. If
Jesus.
Bro.
but like, you know what's so crazy? Though?
Just
Like,
for all purposes of this recording, I don't fuck kids.
no. I was a kid too. Though.
That
I
is
was
implied.
I was a kid too. I was 18. I was 18, turning 19. Like, what the fuck? I was a kid too. Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck no 16-year-old
say
now.
you were a kid.
You know what
You
I'm
just
saying?
did it for room and board.
Yeah, for room and board. But yo, you know what's so crazy though?
I think the consent is given to the mom.
I've
like,
only
"Come on
seen
in."
this. I've only seen this in white folks' house. Like I've been to like I used to go to like this girl used to date. I used to go to her house every Tuesday for dinner. I'll show up. I'm in university till that time. She's finishing high school, bro. I come in, I chill with the dad, bro, have a beer, go upstairs, smash the daughter in the bed as loud as fuck. Come back and eat their mashed potatoes. I'm like, white folks
Yup.
is different.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see that
Yup.
happening in my parents' household. There was no fucking way you'll come through, smash my sister,
Yeah,
then come and sit at
yeah.
the dinner table. Like nothing happened. You know what I mean? But this shit ended up going bad though. With our first girl, it ended up going bad, man. Like fucking, you know, you get used to people. Like her grandma wasn't really like, she really didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? Because she's like, you can't be coming in here, fucking this little girl, getting free room and board, food, everything. And then the mom ended up hooking me up with a job too, which was fucking sweet.
Jesus.
But like, yeah, the grandma, I remember this one time, the grandma, like I asked the little boy, like her little brother to go get me a drink. And the grandma's like, what is this, reverse racism? I'm like, this bitch is crazy, bro.
You said, I said, go.
She pulled
I didn't
out
say
the
go
double
give me a
R.
drink, boy.
Reverse
Roll
racism.
He is a boy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go fetch me some water, boy. No, that's not what. But yo, so
That's the
listen.
proper definition of boy.
So here's the fucked up part, though. So this girl ends up getting into an argument with her mom one night. And fucking, it goes out of hand. She calls her mom a bitch. Like, fucking cunts words are flying everywhere. And this is like Christmas Day, bro. So she gets out of hand and her mom is like, you know what? Get the fuck out of my house. And he has to go too. I'm like, oh, shit. Luckily, I had a good relationship with her dad. I moved in with her dad. I swear to God, you think I'm
Oh,
playing.
they
This
were
is a
separated?
true fucking
Jesus.
story. They were divorced. So moved in with her dad, dog.
Damn.
Moved in with her pops
Yo,
and then...
let me show you this story, bro. So when I was fucking like 17, I was working at Tucker's Marketplace on Ward and Eglinton, right? I worked in the carvery section. I would cut the meat, and then I used to work in the pasta section and I cooked the pasta. So yeah, I picked up this girl, this black girl. She was tall. She was way taller than me, man. There was the one tall girl I've been with, and she was fucking 23 at the time. She had a car and shit, you know.
How old were you?
I was 17.
Oh,
Right?
shit.
But yeah, I looked old, bro. Because I'm a fa, bro. I'm a refugee, bro. Like, I just look old, fam.
The pain.
So
The pain
now,
is
me and this
visible.
girl, we're talking, and like, she's feeling me. So she throws a party at her house. Her family's super religious. They can't know that we're together, right? So, but it was a
But she
sick
invited
party.
you still?
Yeah, so I went. She was feeling me, you know? Bro, I went and I got fucking turned, bro. I seen her dad. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking your daughter, bro. I went off on this guy.
Oh
I
my
went
No.
off. Bro,
God.
me and him started talking, and it was just like, he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, hey, man. Yeah, I'm like, oh,
Did you know it was a dad though?
I didn't, man.
You didn't, so you
man.
still- oh,
so I was
God.
just like, yeah, dog, she's fake. That's my girl. And this guy
Oh
was like,
my
yeah, I'm like, oh shit.
So what happened?
He ended up kicking me out, man.
Oh,
yeah, bro. It was
shit.
the end of the book. But we made a huge scene.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah?
huge scene. We just popped because we were fucking drunk.
course.
My next boy was a fucking goon. He wasn't even supposed to be there. This guy saw the man popping up and he's like, yo, dog, wah, wah. I'm like, oh my god. Shit just went south, man.
God
Yeah, man. And then you know what? Me and that girl still fucked after that.
Yeah, no, it's different with black parents, man. They don't
They
take
don't play that shit.
I remember
he was
this one
ready
time.
to stab me, dog.
I remember this one time we were in a car, like
Sorry to cut you off, but just to be, if that was my daughter, I'd do the same thing. I'd pop off
Exactly,
too.
exactly.
So I can't
That's-
even blame the man.
and
You know,
and
if
then,
that was
I
my
mean,
daughter and the man moving like that,
Yeah.
that kid's not leaving the house, bro.
You know?
That
But,
kid's
like, I
gonna
don't
get
get
a
it, though.
foot
Did you
up his
approach him and be
ass,
like, yo,
Red
you see-
Foreman style, okay?
Yo, I had a driving instructor, and he would just tell us these wilds. I don't even think he works as a driving instructor anymore. He'd tell us these wild stories, and he was talking. He'd always open the class like he was basically a comedian. He'd
Yeah.
open the class with like a bunch of shit that happened in his day, and he'd joke about it. And he was talking about how his daughter was going out with some guy, and the guy came over to the house. And he's like, I really wanted to like scare him, but I'm not a physical person, so I just wanted to like mentally, fuck with him. He goes, so I was sitting in my chair, and I had a log of wood in front of me, and I put a hot dog on the log, and then when the guy came in, I just started talking to him as I casually like put a nail over the hot dog. And then he picked up a hammer and slammed the nail through the hot dog, and he just said,
crazy.
have her home by 11.
What? Bro,
I was
I'd be
like-
like, nah,
I
take
was
your little
like,
bitch.
yo,
Take your little
that
bitch with you.
is
You know what I'm saying?
fucking
You guys can share that
insane,
goddamn
dude.
hot dog. I don't even want this pussy like that, nigga. See, to me, like, dog, no. I've seen the movies, bro. I've seen the movies. I don't poke the line.
I was like, yo,
if I'm gonna
that's
smash your daughter, I'm gonna have to do a background check on you and make sure you're not a
That's
fucking
crazy,
psycho.
dude.
You know what I mean?
There was I remember there was this girl that was in my class, and that he would do like these private lessons as well, like in preparation for like your G2 or whatever. And she was like, yeah, he was nuts. We were driving, and he just told me to pull over. And then so I pulled over, and then he pulls out like a rubber band, and he just starts wrapping a rubber band around his arm, and he's like tapping.
Oh, yeah.
God.
And he
wow.
pulls
This
out a
guy's gonna
needle
do heroin,
in the
bro.
car, and she's like screaming, like, "What the fuck?" And then he just started laughing, and
Wow.
he's like, "It's an insulin syringe. Like, relax. I'm just testing to see if you can deal under pressure." I was like, "Yo,
under
this guy's
pressure.
fucked up."
Can you drive while
That's the
somebody
fucked
shoots
up- that's
heroin
the
in
fucked
your
up
car?
thing with the
This
world,
guy's
bro.
fucked up.
People do fucked up shit, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing. This is what I love about life, bro. Like, you meet anybody and it could go any fucking way. You know?
But how much do you not have to care about your job? If my daughter
Oh,
comes
dude.
home
It
from
was his own
driving school
business.
and she's like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're going to fucking jail, bro."
driving school, yeah.
Like it's his school.
Oh my god. It's
Oh,
like,
okay,
well,
yeah,
not
yeah.
anymore. I don't think it's around anymore. But
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so, bro. Like, yo,
yeah.
to me, like, my
So
daughter
while
comes home
ago.
and she's like, "Yo, my driving instructor pull out a needle in the middle of the lesson. I'm stabbing you. I don't give a fuck." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, it's pretty nuts.
that's nuts, bro. Like, oh man, I can't. Like, shit.
He told us this other insane story about he was trying to tell us about like the dangers of falling asleep while driving, about like the shit that you can kind of see, and he said like his buddy was driving home late one night from work, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he pulled up to a stoplight, and this is in like Gananoque, Ontario. And
Jesus,
he's
where the
got
fuck is that?
It's,
No, it's on the way to Ottawa.
it's on the
Gananoque
way
is
to
like
Ottawa.
right outside.
It's like right
No?
Gananoque.
Gananoque. It's right outside.
Right past Kingston, right before.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking lit, bro.
So he's there, and he's at the stoplight, and he looks over, and a kangaroo is sticking its head in the window.
Jeez.
And he was like, "What the fuck?"
A
And then-
kangaroo.
Wait,
Kangaroo, okay?
In
Kangaroo.
Gananoque?
Gananoque,
What the
Ontario.
fuck? There's no
Listen,
kids.
listen,
There's
listen,
kangaroos?
listen. So the kangaroo runs off, and as he's telling the story, the kid in the class is like, "Are you for real? Like, did he see it? Was it like, get to the point here? What's happening?" And he's like, no, he did like a kangaroo escape from a local zoo.
Oh.
There was like a zoo, like apparently it's in the paper, like you can look it up. And a kangaroo had escaped. And it was running around all over the city.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That happens.
And the kid's like freaking out, and we're like, "What's wrong, man? I'm like, what's going on?" He goes, "My grandma had been calling the house for weeks, saying that she was seeing a kangaroo in the backyard, and they put her in a home."
No, does she live? Does she live near like Grand Oak?
She lives in the area. Yeah.
She lives in the area. Wow.
That's horrendous, man.
Bro.
Yeah.
She wasn't right, and they were like, "No, you need to go to a home." She's like, "There's a kangaroo in my backyard, man.
This bitch is crazy.
What is
Take
wrong
her
with you?"
license right now.
I seen him. I looked at him. I fucking talked to him.
Jesus
Would you
Christ.
put your parents in a home?
It depends on how much money I have.
Yeah,
Homes are expensive. I might be like,
You know what I mean?
move in the
The
garage.
best way to
or
answer
something.
that is I'll do the best thing that needs to be done at the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is with family. You just never know how it's gonna go. man.
low
Yeah,
rise
because sometimes you
apartment.
can't
I'll be
really
happy
low
if I
rise.
outlive my parents, man. Like, yeah, they'll be good.
Put them in a high-rise condo just to be like, let this bitch take the stairs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
She'll learn
elevator
her
breaks
lesson.
down. Yeah.
You know what I mean? After all the bullshit you put me through, it's your turn. I don't know. I felt like, I guess for me it would depend if the quality of care that I can provide at home is less adequate. But then, like, you know, these homes be like, they be sometimes, dog.
yeah.
You be reading these
Dude,
fucking horror stories,
The one
bro.
that my grandfather's still in is like brutal sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You like walk down the hallway and you're just like, what is that? Like, oh, that smell.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh, yeah?
All folks homes are like the
Oh,
worst places in
God.
the world.
Yeah.
It's
Not all of them, though, man.
Death
Like,
is in the air. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like no,
just
like yo, Del
death
Manor
and,
on Eglinton.
yeah.
It was like $7,000 a month living
Yeah,
there.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fucking crazy.
The
expensive.
ones like my mom, like my.
There's some ones that are like,
And the
it's
nurses don't do
and
fuck
when you're
all.
rich, bro, you can afford that shit.
Yeah.
You can retire
Well, the,
somewhere
the,
nice.
the nice ones are ones that are tend to be filled with people who don't actually need like full-time care.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just like you're rich and living in a condo
yeah,
building
yeah.
that it's
Yeah.
full service.
Right,
That's
exactly.
not
Yeah,
as much
yeah,
as an old
yeah.
folks home is where there's like every chair
Where
is
it's like a-
rubber because they
Yeah.
shit themselves all
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
The
yeah.
walls are fucking concrete
That's
Just
because
the
they
old
can't
people
have any
factory, man.
material
That's
that
what it is.
absorbs
Yeah.
the
It's built
smell.
to build a factory.
I would say if you can't take care of your elderly parent yourself,
Put them
the fact that
down.
anyone, well, yes,
The what?
because honestly, anyone else who can take care of them, like yes, they can take care of them, but their quality of life is fucking horrible regardless.
Yeah.
Like if you
Give them
need,
7 grams of mushrooms.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
And then
let's-
ask them, how do you
That's
feel?
It was in the news recently. I think that is like becoming
they're
more.
it's literally becoming
mainstream
more mainstream
palliative
because we
care.
don't have anything. When you think about the process of death, it happens. Like it's as much as we try to deny it, it's gonna keep happening. It's been happening for thousands of
It's
years.
the only thing that is
why
guaranteed.
why haven't we built like a process around death? We have a process at
We
birth.
had.
We have a process around
No,
that.
but like a
No, I'm telling
mental
you,
process
old
for
cultures literally did
Yeah, we
exactly the
had-
things
we
we're
had,
doing
that's-
now.
yeah, yeah.
And then certain people showed up and fucked it all up.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
everybody.
What do you
Nixon.
mean though by a process around death? Like
So
what? Like,
there has to be some sort
a
of
ritual.
like a ritual to the person that's leaving this planet. Like if I'm 89 years old and they're like, as soon as we take like you know what I mean, like he might last another 3 days, maybe a week. Give me mushrooms.
you just want to do drugs on
No,
the death
no,
row.
no,
You
no,
are
That's-
an
that-
old
no, no,
It's
Generous.
degenerate.
clinically proven.
All the
their
cultures
outlook
that
on
lived around the
death
Mediterranean
becomes
and
okay.
Northern Europe,
They become okay with the idea of death, and they say, "Okay,
No,
let
they
me go."
give him morphine. They're just as happy.
Dude,
No,
it's
no, no.
different.
Well,
It's a
that's like
different
literally
thing.
dealing with the pain versus the
Yeah, that's a Band-Aid.
overwhelming anxiety and depression of dying.
of
Fuck,
the
yeah.
idea
Yeah.
of death.
Yo,
So
there's
that's what
nothing-
European-
There's nothing worse than just. Sorry to cut you off, Pat. There's nothing worse than just waiting to die.
That's what it's for.
You
That's
know?
what
That's what it's
mushrooms
for.
Really
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about it.
yeah. That's
But
what
when
it's for.
mushrooms
nobody's
really
for-
fix it up,
nobody's
without
checking in
mushrooms,
on
I don't
them.
think.
Not
Look,
just mushrooms.
No, but,
Nobody's
like,
checking
It's
in
like
on them.
therapy and mushrooms.
They're
Yeah.
shitting themselves. Nobody's checking in on them.
No, dude.
People are
it's
cleaning
a
up.
horrible way
They have
to go.
nurse people at work that clean up their shit. They're literally just taking up space. That's fucked
I had
up. That
two
is the saddest
grandparents
thing
go
ever, man.
go into this like
Yeah.
home, dead within a
Yeah,
week.
Yeah.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
because
They're
they just
dirty
couldn't.
fucking places.
They're
as
like, this
well.
place
Like,
sucks, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's boring as fuck. Like
Yeah.
my grandfather was fucking cool. He had tattooed sleeves. He was in the
Oh,
fucking
fuck yeah,
war.
bro.
Oh,
I come in and check on him. He's just sitting on the edge of his bed, listening to a record of Johnny Cash, and just like, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, nothing.
He's like, fuck.
like how
He
what,
was dead, like-
Fuck
why
this,
did
I
he-
was like,
buddy.
but why did he have to be
God
put in the
damn it.
home? Like, was he?
He just like
able-
he lost his wife. He just like couldn't take care of
humans are
himself
not
anymore.
meant
Like
to fucking age that way.
yeah, we weren't meant to make it that long. We're like Meeseeks. We weren't meant to make
Yeah,
it this
yeah,
long.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we were supposed to fulfill a very short amount of time and purpose.
That's why I'm going out in the blaze of glory, boys.
Like
you know what I
Caesar.
mean?
Yeah, I believe that.
Just
Yeah.
fighting a pack of squirrels with my bare hands as they take me down.
Go out like Caesar's fighting a bunch of dude in flip flops.
I know, right? That's fucking crazy. I don't know, man. Like, it's just like it's something that you fucking gotta contemplate too. Is like, imagine like how many people out there don't have the money to put
It's
their
weird they
parents
have
in
to
a home.
plan
Like,
for it.
fucking. Ugh,
Those people just don't. They don't have money for shit. They just take care
Yeah.
of them themselves.
you know.
yeah.
But like the encumbrance of it too. Like I couldn't imagine like, you know, like, just having to be responsible for. You know what I mean? Like it just you gotta hire babysitters now at this point. It's like damn, like.
Yeah, but good thing if you have kids and then your parents also need. I mean, there you go.
That's how it's supposed to work.
That's how it's
like
supposed to
a
work.
normal family's supposed to function.
It's
Yeah.
like most of them is like then the grandmother comes in or the grandfather comes in. They spend the time with the kids while you are providing for the household.
Yeah.
And then the roles just rotate like that. It's a fucking cycle.
Now I'm putting those little niggas to work.
You know where I connected those dots? When I was on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contemplating your own death and coming up with
I was like,
solutions.
it's all a cycle,
You know
man.
what I mean? For coming up with
You
solutions
guys
for
ever
those.
heard of DMT?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, I fucking
Joe Rogan over here.
No, but back in the day. Okay, so, bro, some guy needed DMT. Okay, and I fucking found a guy to make it for him.
Wow.
Make it for him, and this guy ordered a bunch of shit, made it for
You should
him.
be able to buy it online.
So we link up. This is like, bro, this is back in the day. We link up with this guy, give it to him. The guy fucking smokes it in like a little fucking pipe, and then, bro, this guy just started running. They just started running, man. Bro, he was
That
cool. He
man
was
is
chilling.
Usain Bolt.
We sat in the car. We were smoking a cigarette, and this guy just like, bro. He's like, bro. And he just like, then he just
He felt the earth
just starts
spinning
running, bro.
underneath him.
Bro, that
It's
shit
running
was-
away from the Iron Elves.
That's why. Yeah.
He was just
yeah.
running,
He's
man.
just
Bro,
running away
we were
from the
fucking
Iron
shook.
Elves.
We're like, bro, if this guy fucking something happens to him,
Yeah.
it's coming back to us, bro. We're all
Oh,
going
it's
to
funny.
jail, man.
Bro, my buddy,
Yeah.
like
He was good, by the way. He fucking made it.
I've never done DMT, but the only fucking psychedelic I can't fucking stand that I've done a couple of times is fucking salvia.
That's literally one of the worst
Yeah.
drugs.
It
to
is
fucking
the
try.
worst
I was
thing.
on it once
Have
and
you
the
ever done
whole
it?
room felt sideways. You
know-
have that
you know what's so
sensation?
horrible?
Where it
No, no,
flips the room
everybody-
on its side. You're just doing this. You're just fucking...
No,
It's like
everybody.
a drug made by a guy who wants to use drugs in a horror movie.
Like,
It's fucking
it's so bad, bro.
Salvia, man.
I've actually done it a couple of
so
times, and it was
suspect. A little black, like little black pebbles.
no.
in a
The fucked up
packet.
thing about it, the fucked up thing about it is like when you rip a bong of salvia,
Yeah.
you remember everything about your life except the fact that you just smoked salvia.
Yeah.
So let's say right now you're in this
That's when
room,
Miley
like,
Cyrus was yelling in that room.
bro.
on
The
salvia.
first trip I had, I'm
Get
sitting on
that
my buddy's
video,
couch, right? I ripped the bong, and out of nowhere, picture the Great Wall of China, okay? Made of people, right? So I'm right here like this. There is a guy here. There's a guy here. There's a guy between my legs, and we all have no fucking idea how we just ended up there. So the whole time it's a screaming match of like, yo, what the fuck? What is this? Where are we? I don't know. Where are we? Like, just
That's
a Great
wild,
Wall
man.
of China of people just losing their shit, and
It's
eventually
everybody doing salvia at
Yeah.
the same time. Just
you know,
plopped into
imagine,
this.
yeah, it's maybe all the people in the world that did
Yeah,
that ripped.
dude.
But eventually I ripped myself off and land back on my buddy's couch.
Jeez.
It's so and then the sweating.
Yo,
The
I always said
sweating is
drugs
really
are
the
just
worst
like,
part.
I feel like your brain is like a kind of like a radio frequency almost.
Yeah.
And like when you give yourself these kind of substances, I'm just trying to generalize,
Yeah.
right? Like, because you could say alcohol, you could say cigarettes, all these things. It just kind of adjusts the frequency.
Yeah.
But some of them, like mushrooms or these bigger psychedelics, it just kind of cranks
Just
it
crank
to this,
it all the way.
where everything that you're seeing is like existing here in this plane where you are right now.
You're just
but you
not
just
tuned on
don't
it.
see it normally when you're sober.
Right.
It's just on it because you're on a different wavelength, or I don't know.
You know what's so crazy though? Like mushrooms have never had like a crazy psychedelic effect to me. Like I want like when I do
taking
mushrooms, I want to laugh at everything and I yawn like a
100%.
motherfucker. Yeah, I'm saying that's all it does to me. Like the yawning,
The yawning
so
gets tiring.
tiring.
Yeah,
But like like they just exhaust me, bro. And like like I remember doing mushrooms with a couple buddies and like they look at me like, oh my god, look at those buildings. What is that? I'm like, I don't
think they're
see anything.
faking
I'm just
I would bet they're faking it. I don't think you see intense.
no, it's very subtle.
Like it's not like acid or like DMT where there's like manifest hallucinations.
In
It's
your
more like an
face.
inward, sort of like contemplative thing. It's not like DMT. DMT, and you can look it up. That's what I was saying. You will literally see iron elves who will take you on a journey that shows the entire world sort of just get broken down into a very sort of bizarre numerological kind of
Have you done it?
yeah matrix kind of thing. You
Really?
literally used to get stuff from Japanese and Russian hospitals. There was like medical grade DMT that they were using to test on monkeys.
Wow.
Damn.
It used to be that's what you would get
And
over
that's
the
what you
internet.
try?
Yeah, over the
Jesus
dark web, like
Christ.
Silk Road kind of thing. Basically, the beginning of that.
Yo, you been on that website?
of course.
What
yeah.
is
We
it?
need to
Sick-
talk about Silk Road. Hold on. Now that came up, I've never been on that website.
You can go onto the like, what is it?
Yeah, but
now,
like, I don't have
Silk
the
Road
the
13
right like
Tor.
technology to get on the dark web. So
Tor
yo,
browser,
Silk Road.
yeah.
So how do you even access that? Like how do you get on
Yo,
the
Silk
what is the
Road
dark web?
Is on the dark web, and like, bro, the dark web's fucking wild. You could buy Hitman.
Yeah.
You could buy.
No,
a
but
Hitman.
That's not true. That's actually probably
That's not true?
You can
That's probably
crowdfund.
the
Oh.
most fucked up thing the FBI did to get what's his face. I can't.
So that's a lie.
yeah.
So
They
what
said they
was the
crowdfunded
most fucked up
an
thing you could buy on Silk
assassination of
Road?
Obama?
It was nothing that was active harm. So you couldn't buy children, you couldn't buy child porn, you could buy guns and drugs, pretty much is like the main thing. A lot of it was actually like used for sort of dissident journalists to upload things so that then like someone who's in North Korea, they upload something,
Right.
and that way a guy in Ecuador can download it and then publish it. That
Yeah.
way the North Koreans then can't go, well, we know exactly
we
who
know exactly where this came from. Yeah.
There was a
No, but like,
shitload
how
of
do you
that
how do you access the quote unquote dark web? Like, what is
so
it?
you think of
Yeah.
the internet. The internet is like a network made up by the military, and it was meant for like an intercommunication thing between the Navy. So it's basically, think of like each computer is now like a Navy ship. That's like their idea of it. Like, we just need to communicate back and forth between each other very rapidly. So all the dark web is sort of like a underpinning sort of tunnels beneath it. There's sort of like, you have this big, huge, broad system that's the internet, and it's massive. And then you have this very small.
But how do you access? Like,
The
can you
exa-
like on your computer? Like,
No,
what would you
can't
have?
download
to do?
on your
stuff.
computer. You need to have like
You have to
special
download like a
browsers and
program.
shit.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
download
You
like a
can't
Tor
pull it up on
browser.
Chrome,
A
you know?
Tor
Like-
browser?
Yeah, so it's just a different, like the internet browser, and that browses the internet. The Tor browser browses.
So it's like Internet Explorer, but for the dark web. So it would be like Tor.
the dark. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Tor
Can I get the
is
Mozilla
Internet
Firefox of the dark
Explorer.
web?
Yeah.
Dark web is just the internet, but it's just a different, smaller, shittier internet.
Oh, okay.
But it's incredibly difficult to sort of like navigate in
that's so
terms of like
different.
trying to investigate something versus like just trying to broker a deal. Like if you wanted to like, I want to buy fentanyl.
Right.
It's so easy and
Yeah.
nearly impossible to get caught unless you're just being an asshole.
Right.
You could start talking about it, you get caught instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you just in theory use like a prepaid credit card.
Right.
You basically fill that up with either Bitcoin or some kind of even regular cash. Some guy in China who is a lab that makes fentanyl, he just downloads it to his like WeChat Pay thing, and the Chinese people don't give a shit. They're fucking exporting
They
that
don't
shit.
give a fuck.
Right.
They're
Yeah,
interested
they
in
don't give a
you
flying
bringing
fuck.
shit in,
Right.
and then he just mails it to you. And now it's one of like literally 4.5 trillion packages that get circulated around the world
Right.
that are not large packages. It's
Right.
Yeah,
like,
just like an
Yeah,
envelope.
just a tiny little
Sub-5
envelope.
pounds.
If it's
Yeah.
packaged right, you'll
Yeah.
get through. If not, you'll get caught.
Exactly.
You know?
Like people have sent like machine guns
Yeah.
through the mail
Yeah,
in Canada.
only a small
Wow,
percentage.
huh?
Only a small percentage of
That's
packages get
fucking-
caught.
Oh yeah. There's no
yeah,
way they
yeah,
can check
yeah.
all of them. Like,
Well,
it's-
that's what people like after 9/11. That the idea that they're looking for drugs or other kind of contraband besides explosives or nuclear material, it's like a myth.
Yeah.
The dogs that sniff for bombs are not capable of sniffing for drugs.
Right.
The drug dogs are not capable of sniffing for
bombs.
gunpowder.
Yeah.
They're looking for bombs and people who are smuggling millions of dollars worth of like irradiated material.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what they're looking
yeah.
for. Like a shipping tanker, like take any random shipping tanker, there is a entire container filled with contraband that's not even disguised.
I have a buddy of mine who used to mail coke through the mail, bro.
Yeah.
Just mail fucking bricks of cocaine
FedEx-
to Canada Post.
FedEx and
You know
Canada
what I
Post
mean?
are some of the biggest drug dealers in the world.
Fucking Canada Post. And this guy was doing it for 5
Okay,
years
I'll
before
tell
he
you
got
guys
caught
the
out.
story, man. So I worked at the airport at CATSA for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and I didn't make it past my first clearance check.
Oh yeah,
They're
they're
give
hardcore.
You, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking
Damn.
about.
You can't work at the airport
No,
if
so you
you-
start and you have certain access, right? And then
Yeah.
they run all their fucking checks, and then if you make it, you get to the next level, and then the next level and the next level. That's how the airport works.
So you got like level 1 is like
Dog.
McDonald's retail
Yeah,
people, and the
level one is
Starbucks
like an
people.
intern, bro.
Yeah.
An intern with a paycheck. That's
And
pretty
then-
much what it was.
And by the time you become like a
Yeah.
thrower, which is like
Yeah.
a baggage handler,
Yeah.
their security clearance is just slightly below a regular cop.
Yeah,
It's not like
Really?
yeah. 'cause,
You're not
bro, it's-
trained to the same thing, but the background check is
Yeah,
as
it's
very
Yeah.
thorough, yeah.
Because
Yo,
you're
check
dealing
this out,
with
though.
all
So
this
we were at the
valuable-
airport, and I was the guy searching the bags, but I was just shadowing somebody who was looking through the. You know when the bag goes through the X-ray, he was the guy watching the screen.
He's
That's what I was
cu-
doing.
He would have been a customs and
Customs,
border
yeah,
patrol
yeah.
agent. Yeah.
So, a couple of fucking gates down, they grab a Chinese guy, bring him aside, and bro, this guy had his underwear. His wife sewed pockets on the inside of his underwear, all over his underwear, and he had bricks of gold in his underwear, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude.
cash and currency is actually smuggled through airports
Dude,
way
like
more
that
often
was
than
fucking
anything.
insane.
Yo, my
Insane.
aunt,
Like
my
bricks, like fucking.
Like bro, like they were like flat gold bricks. Like
Yeah.
they weren't even like big on like it's not like a movie.
Yeah,
No, they would have
They
been like
They
flat
were
1-ounce bars.
precise. They were fucking precise.
How many of
man.
those did he have on him?
I don't know, man. He had it all around him, bro. I wasn't
fuck
part of
it.
the count or any of that shit.
Right.
But that guy,
How did you not think you're gonna get caught on them?
no, you know how we
walking
got
through-
caught because the guy was swiping the thing, but it wasn't beeping. But he bumped him by accident.
Oh, and then he
It went-
sound.
It went.
Oh.
He's like, what the
Because-
fuck is that, bro? And the guy goes, "We can't do this here." Like, the guy is like, "We can't do this out here, man."
Really?
Yeah, man.
We can't. There's a
We
lot.
can't do this here,
He's
man.
like,
We can't do this here. You're gonna get killed over this. You know what I
People
mean?
are going
That's
to
what I
steal
use
his
when I
coke.
travel abroad. Like I have a gold card that basically allows you to withdraw money from a bank without
Don't
getting
flex
fucked
on
on
us
the.
with your fucking white guy credit, man.
I'll give
Your
you
922
genuine advice.
points out here,
No,
bro.
no, go. Where'd
Genuine
you get the
advice. You
gold
can
card?
actually bring significantly more money in and out of the country if you have it in gold. So that's where, like, if you go to like on vacation in Barbados, instead of bringing $1,200, you bring like one little gold coin, get it converted there. You don't get fucked on the exchange rate. You don't have to pay
Yeah.
a banking fee, and it's also worth a shitload more money abroad.
Where do you take the?
Any cash exchange place, including the ones at the airport, 9 times out of 10 will do it.
Oh damn.
Knowing that you've
Gold.
literally just
They will
like
So
buy
you
gold off
go-
you and give you cash.
Where do you get
Yes.
the gold out?
Beauty.
from anywhere, any bank in Canada.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
the
okay.
gold is not. It
Where did
only-
you sign up for this gold card? Are you plugging a sponsor that's not going to be
There's
on
a
the show?
billion different things, but you
Is
go.
it on the dark web, Pat?
No, you can go to like legit places like Gold Money, and it's like you'll get a debit card that you deposit cash, it converts it to gold.
Cool.
You withdraw cash.
But can you
That's
swipe? Can you
sick.
swipe that card to get gas or something like that? Like, or do you have to like withdraw the cash once you get where
No,
you go?
there's debit only versions. Then there's regular Visa versions, which is it's a Visa card, but in the same principle where it's anything you pay onto it, you could pay with gold, but the credit is always cash.
Oh,
like
yeah.
no one, I mean, like no one takes gold amounts. So
yeah.
the end product that person's always getting is cash. It's just like a means of converting it, and you're
Yeah.
storing it in something that doesn't obviously get fucked by a
Regular
big sort
banks.
of
Right.
like if the Canadian dollar takes a shit kind of thing.
Yeah.
It'll happen. It'll
We're the
happen. We're
gold
talking about.
standard.
Yeah,
But then
let's see,
also
bro.
like abroad, like Indians and Chinese people pay fucking way more. Russian people too pay a way higher premium, and that's the similar all over the world.
on what? On gold?
On gold.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's
yeah,
controlled more in those countries than it is
Right.
here.
Damn.
Right.
And also, it's like denominated in U.S. dollars almost exclusively.
Damn.
So.
You're gonna have to send me that because
Literally, just Google gold money.
Oh,
It's-
okay, nice.
All you need is a passport and regular IDs. It's a legit bank account kind of thing.
Dude, I was at this. I can't remember which museum. I think it's some museum in Washington D.C. and they had this exhibit, and you walk in, so there is this glass, like this bulletproof glass, and inside there is this one gold brick. And they'll ask people if you can put your arm through it.
I've seen that. And pick
and
it up.
grab
And pull it out, yeah.
and pull it out.
Yeah. Nobody
It's
can do
yours
it.
to no, you can't fucking do it. You know what I mean? But they will show you though. They will show you that the brick fits.
Yeah.
It actually
Yeah.
does fit through.
Yeah.
But with your wrist, because
Yeah.
to grab it, you're having to use your fingers.
Yeah.
And a brick of fucking gold, that shit is heavy.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
kilogram.
You know what I mean?
at
It's
least.
a kilogram. Yeah. You know, like I don't know what kind of tendons. Like
You
remember those
gotta,
thing a guy that
gotta
he came
jerk
so
off for
close.
weeks to get that kind of wrist
Bro,
strength.
that
You gotta
kind of-
sit
you
there
know,
and
like
whack off
forearms like
profusely
Popeye.
to
Yeah.
get that kind of wrist strength, bro.
Popeye
Like 42 times
forearms.
a day.
Do you guys have a waste man of the week?
Yo, I don't have a waist. Actually, I do. I'm gonna talk about Debbie, bro. Okay, So I seen a video of Debbie cashing out at some fucking jewelry store. Yo, stop posting your fucking money on Instagram. You're gonna get robbed. You live in Toronto. We're surrounded by goons. Okay, somebody's gonna fucking run upon you and rob you. Please stop doing that.
Where does she even get the money? I've
I
seen
don't
this
care.
girl
Hold
looking
on.
homeless
None of
as
that matters. None of that matters. All that matters is, yo, if you post your shit on Insta, there's a guy that knows you that is ready to fucking rob
creeping in
you.
the shadows, bro.
Fucking heat score.
Heat score.
Yeah.
Isn't
They're
that?
They just seen a video. They're like, they call the man's, yo, he's got it. Let's go.
That's what happened all the time in high school.
Yo,
It's like literally
we're
the
talking
second
about
someone.
Pop Smoke just fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
done.
he posted
You
his
know?
fucking address
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Instagram.
He didn't post though. It was
No,
an
he was
accident though. He
flexing.
was,
Yeah, it was an accident.
Yeah, it was
but
an
like,
accident.
you
But he
can't
got
be
caught.
taking those kind of
Yeah,
accidents,
bro.
man.
But you know what though?
fucked
I
up
was
hard.
talking about it with my girl. So I
He
was talking
fucked
about
up hard.
I was talking about it with my
That's
girl, and I
fucked.
was kind of like cracking jokes because the man has like songs where he's like, "Yo, I caught a baddie last night and I forgot about it." I'm like, listen, man, you live like that, you know, because I feel like a lot of these guys, man, you invite this shit into your life
man,
somehow,
listen, it's
somehow,
very,
bro.
very simple, man.
Like you
It's a
speaking
very,
your existence.
it's a very old rule of thumb. If you live by the gun, you die by the bullet. And that's the way it goes.
But like, even if let's say you
the way
just
it
like,
goes.
let's say you just like fucking even just rapping about that kind of shit, because there is people who really live that
Yeah,
life.
there are.
And they
talk
see you
shit, you're gonna
talking
get banged
about
up.
it, and they're like,
those are
yo,
the
bro.
people that are like,
You know what I
I
fucking
just read a story
carrying money
today
right now.
about fucking. I didn't even realize this happened in 2001. Jay-Z fucking stabbed
Oh yeah.
Lucas.
That
what's
was
his
huge.
name?
It was.
Rivera?
I think they had like a business deal or something like that.
Yeah,
He fucked him up on a
yeah.
record and just like, yo, right in the middle of the club, bro. Pop, pop, pop. You know. But like honestly, like, it's funny because like hip hop artists. I don't know if it's because there is this thing about hip hop where it has to emanate from real life. You see what I'm saying? Like actors, like nobody looks at actors and be like, "Yo,
Yeah,
Tom Cruise,
it's not even
what
just
the
that, though,
fuck,
like,
bro? You
bro.
think you're really moving that kind of weight? You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
It's not even
But,
just
like,
that, right?
hip-hop
But like
has to be-
hip hop started with real life, right? Like the rappers that started this shit that was their life. Like if you think of like old school rap, these
Right.
guys were actual gangbangers, man. Don't
Yeah.
forget, Snoop Dogg had fucking murder charges, man. You guys
he
forget
still
about that
said
shit?
he-
Classic-
Did you guys forget about that shit?
Classic rap actually accounts for an incredibly short period before gangster rap comes
Yeah.
on. That is what most people actually know
rap
of
is,
as
yeah,
rap.
yeah,
No,
They
but-
don't think of like Lil Herc as
Yeah.
like
Hippity-hop.
he's a real pioneer of rap.
the fuck is
Most
Lil
people
Herc,
go
bro?
like Snoop, Dre, Eazy-E, Tupac,
Yeah.
Biggie.
Yeah.
Guys who transition to talking about like champagne and
Yeah.
bitches, but they all started of like NWA is the best example. Like
Yeah.
all the first big songs are just descriptions of crimes. All
Right.
they are doing is
But it was a
describing
more
drug
accurate
dealing.
description of what they were living through.
No,
man.
but
No,
like-
that's what I'm saying.
No, but my
Yeah.
question, but I don't think you guys are grasping like the question because the fact that they have to be held to that kind of
That's part of the appeal.
to that kind of
It's
but like,
central to the appeal.
it's
I think.
but I feel like it has done more harm than good. And like people, I would be the first one to ever say something like that. I'd be like, you know what?
But you can't really, like,
sometimes like when you listen to an artist and you can tell
quantify
that they're
that,
not
Quantify, this guy says.
talking about something that they're living. Yes, it does kind of drown out the quality of the music. But now the more of these guys keep start dying, you're like, yo, why is that?
I heard
You know
like
what I mean?
like I'll
Because
just-
actors are not being held. Like I don't watch a movie like I don't watch Narcos and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, the guy who played Escobar better be moving some fucking bricks,
Yeah,
or I'm not
yeah, yeah.
tuning in next season.
It's
Oh, man,
because
those guys are fucking
people
insane.
demand in rap a genuine and authenticity
Right.
that is so central to the actual music. I think what people think of in a movie, they're like, this is a portrayal of a true story, and it sort of like comes off as real. Whereas with rap, it's like, you have to be real. Now tell me a good story.
Yeah.
It's so like fundamental to it, but I also would agree to you. And I think people kind of get fucked up and you think of like it's like white people scolding blacks about their music that depicts violence in it. It's not that. It's more just like the community training too much focus on X profession that is like not particularly stable or like prevalent or easy to access for the average kid. Like the idea that like you go like, well, here's what you do: become a drug dealer, get some street credit, and then start producing music.
But a lot
because
of it
that's
too.
what you really want to do is make music.
That's the
showed up to
principle
the
that
club.
people are living on. I don't know if you know, like 13 and 14-year-old kids are robbing banks. Fucking
They
Markham
literally
and
just caught those
16.
kids in Markham.
Yeah, that's
That's
like 5 minutes from my
wild.
work. I work at McCowan and 7. That was at Markham and
That's
16.
my money.
No, but that wasn't my money. But you know what? Those kids were fucking 13 and 14.
It's so
and
dangerous
they're
and
related to
brazen.
a string of armed robberies. That was
3.
just the one that they caught.
3 recently.
Yeah.
Wild.
There's 3 recently. They're questioning them in a series of other ones.
you guys see
You're
that-
robbing banks that are like that. Just shows you indicates you pretty much could guess these kids are very young or had like
Which kids?
developmental
Which kids?
problems.
Which kids are we talking about? Like the
13, 14, and a 17-year-old.
Oh yeah.
Robbed the bank in
I heard
Markham
about
and RBC.
Wow.
13 years old. Like how the fuck?
And you go in.
Nah, bro.
Are they black here? Look, what's this?
I don't know. They, yo,
No,
some of them might
only
be
one of
brown,
the kids.
bro.
Only one of them's
Brown
black.
youths are
I think one of them is like a mix, and then one of them looks like white trash.
What kind of financial problems do you have to have at
Saying
13?
They look like a young
Like, you know what I'm
us.
saying?
Hey,
Like, yo,
Patty,
dog, I
they
cannot
look like a
afford-
young version of us.
Yeah, honestly,
$1,300. I was like, yo, that's a lot of money.
No, but,
No, but that shows you like how young and fucked up and dumb they are, because it couldn't be about money, because they literally don't carry more than 9,600 outside the counter, and they never have anyone in there to open a vault.
Go to your mom's first, bro. Like, how much money do you need?
It's such a
This
small,
kid
dangerous
is
sport.
robbing
That's
a
how you
bank.
know
This
it's
guy's
How much
trying
did
to
it
hit a
take?
big
How much did it
lick.
take?
about 1,300.
Yo,
1,300. So they had guns.
Guarantee if they didn't,
Well, they had weapons, so that means they could have had like
Cap
zip
guns.
guns, like a homemade gun
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
a
yeah.
real gun.
Or like fucking fake guns.
Or
just 'cause
exactly.
they're
Yeah.
pussy.
A lot of
painted
times-
fucking cap guns.
Fucking youths, bro. This guy went to the Toys R Us and tried to
Yo,
rob a
guaranteed
bank.
if they didn't. Yeah,
But a lot of times they're doing that
He's going to
literally
Princess
to
Auto.
buy a real gun.
Bought an
Like,
airsoft.
they-
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I
Oh,
guarantee
no,
though, if
they
they didn't get caught, they would have been flexing that on Instagram for
Oh,
sure.
for sure. But that's how
That's how they would've
That's how they got caught.
Yeah,
They got
but
caught on
that's how they would've
Instagram.
been caught.
the
No, I think
one
they
of
caught
them.
one of them on scene.
Yeah. One of them basically talked to people about it on social
Oh,
media and
my
did not realize
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like cops do just spy
Yeah,
on
yeah.
people's social media
Yeah.
accounts. Like they literally sit
This
on
guy's
them and
like,
wait.
yeah, we're about to hit a lick with the box.
Oh, it's like, yo, 13 years old out here
Fucking-
pulling.
So
Selfie
those
at
are
the
the
bank.
waistbands of the week. Just
Yeah,
wrapped it up.
yeah.
man.
Let's wrap it
You
up
guys
here.
got anything you wanna promote?
Oh,
Yeah.
February 20. Oh, this Saturday, February. Well, when is this gonna come out? This will come out Sunday, so you'll have
Sunday,
missed it. No,
So you would have missed it.
You'll have missed it.
Every Thursday, Victoria All Day Grill, comedy night at Victoria, 9:30 p.m. Every night, 646 Danforth Road in Scarborough. Of course, we got the big thing coming up.
Big thing coming soon. We'll talk about that soon
the
too.
big
man.
thing. the big thing coming
Big
up.
things coming soon.
We'll make the proper
Once-
announcements.
Once it's all official, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're gonna get
alright.
Morgan
Tickets go
Freeman
live.
to
Don't forget to get.
We'll get Morgan Freeman to fucking do the commercial.
to narrate it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure he's
man.
doing nothing at
We'll
this.
get Morgan
at this
Freeman
time.
and Drake. To
I
do
got
the
a
commercial.
milli on that. I got a milli on that ready for Morgan. You
Don't
know?
forget to
Alright,
leave us
guys.
a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That always helps out. And share the episodes with your friends. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, have a good night.
Boom.
Mi son svegliato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi son svegliato e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao.